I have a ton of these lapel microphones from brands like Rode to Purple Panda to Pop Voice and a few other different things. So is there really any difference in the audio quality? Right now you're listening to the Movo VX-R10 shotgun microphone. It is maybe, it's like right at an arm's length between where I am and where the microphone is. This is not a sound treated room. This is my office where I work. And so this is what you could expect from this microphone, but just to not have any of these jumbled into the audio mix. So I want to do a quick listening review, if you will, where we go through and we'll take a look at something like the Yellowway lapel microphone, compare it to the Pop Voice, and compare it to the Rode Smartlav Plus microphone. That actually, most of these are for smartphones, but you can use a little adapter, and most of them come with an adapter that you can use for your camera. So we're just going to plug this directly into the Sony a6600. No rhyme or reason as far as cheapest to lowest, best to worst, or anything like that when it comes to these cameras, and then we'll take a listen and see what I think when it comes to which one may be best and the best bang for your buck. So let's jump into it. So this that we're listening to right now is the Pop Voice lapel microphone plugged directly into my Sony a6600 camera. The audio levels are set to 3 in the Sony cameras, and the preamps in Sony mirrorless cameras are really fantastic. They really do a great job. There's no air conditioner on. There should be no additional noises, but I'm going to be quiet for a second just so we can hear what that ambient room noise would sound like on this microphone. The microphone levels are still set to 3 in the camera, and this is an interesting lapel because this is the one that actually comes with the Boom XD microphone system. So that wireless unit includes microphones with it that actually are TRS cables on the end, or adapters rather, and so you don't need to use any additional adapters to convert that from TRRS, which would connect to your smartphone or things like that. So you're listening to this right now, and I'm gonna be quiet for just a second so you can hear the room noise. Next up, we have a fan favorite, which has been the Purple Panda microphone that I've had for a really long time and has actually served me really well. The audio levels are still set to 3, but it does seem that this microphone is a little bit quieter than some of the other ones that seem to have more of a cardioid pickup pattern instead of a omnidirectional one. So the omnidirectional one is going to pick up a lot of environmental noise, whereas a dynamic microphone is really more so within a certain proximity, maybe about the size of your head or somewhere thereabout. But I'll be quiet for just a second so you can hear just the room noise for this one, which is not helpful because there's a plane. And now that that plane has left, now let's take a listen to the room noise and just see how much it picks up. So now we have the Yellowway lapel microphone that comes in a pretty nifty interview kit where you get 2 lapel microphones and some additional accessories, and I've really enjoyed using this one quite a bit. I do notice that this one picks up really well and pretty strong, and this will impact also what kind of wireless units that you're using. So we're also going to do a test using these lapel microphones in the Rode Wireless Go 2, just so you can hear the difference from if it's connected directly to the camera versus Rode Wireless Go 2s, because I have noticed that those preamps are really good in there and they're really strong. So a microphone like this may not be best on certain voices or certain placement. You may have to put it almost in the center of your chest or somewhere thereabout. We'll be quiet so that you can hear the room noise, and hopefully another plane doesn't pass over. And lastly, we are on the Rode Smartlav, which is a little bit quieter, I've noticed as well from looking at the audio levels on the camera, but I've really picked this one up to compete against all the other ones that I have, simply because the capsule is really small, and that does make a difference, because after a while you get tired of seeing these big old things on the point of your throat or in your chest or on a talent or whomever, and it just honestly gets annoying, or some of the cables being super long and that becomes extra stuff that they have to have on their pocket. It just gets super annoying. So we've been talking long enough so you can hear the audio quality for this microphone. Level still set to 3, but let's be quiet for a second so that you can hear what the room noise sounds like. So let's do some wireless tests. I've previously been using the Boom XD until the Rode Wireless Go 2 came out, and that's what you're listening to right now, because I think one of the best investments that you can make is in a small wireless unit. This is super helpful. It automatically pairs and connects. Doesn't matter which one you get. You don't always have to go with number 1 of 2. It records internally. A lot of great stuff. I'll have to do a dedicated video on these, but I've been talking long enough just so you can hear what the audio sounds like on the Rode Smartlav lapel. And the audio levels are set to 1 in the camera because, again, the preamps are pretty strong and it's only mirrorless cameras. And then we have that set to 0 decibels on the Rode Wireless Go's. So you can control the levels, but I want to keep it exactly where I have it. And let's go ahead and switch over to another lapel microphone so you can hear what that sounds like. Right after we be quiet for a second so you can hear what that room noise sounds like. So the audio levels have not changed in the camera or on the Rode Wireless Go sets, and this is now using the Yellowway lapel microphone, which I can already see that these levels are hitting pretty hard, at least as far as the volume, louder than some of the others. And this may be something that you would want to lower the decibels, so we could do that on the Rode Wireless Go 2. But again, just to keep everything consistent, if we were set at 1 in the camera and 0 decibels on the Rode Wireless Go, this is what you could expect. I want to hop in here for just a quick second, because if you're listening to this recording for the Yellowway lapel microphone, you can see that it's peaking. And I wanted to give you true representations of if a microphone is weaker or stronger than the other, with the audio levels remaining unchanged. But if you are using the Rode Wireless Go 2s, I want to show you how you can actually still keep that audio saved very quickly, just so you know that your audio isn't ruined. And so it actually saves all of the recordings. You can save that in uncompressed. A future video will go into this. But if we go into that same area, but this is the recording on the actual device, I want you to listen and hear the difference. It's now using the Yellowway lapel microphone, which I can already see that these levels are hitting pretty hard. So where in the camera, that particular part was peaking just because you have 2 systems that have strong preamps and you would need to adjust the gain for that specific microphone. You can set up safety channels and you can set it up so that the audio is protected in the device if you're using Rode Wireless Go 2s. And if you're using those in this Rode Central app, then you have an option here where you can enable safety channels and adjust your audio levels. You can still use them and they still will work for you. And then quickly, if you're getting value out of the video, make sure you hit the like button. And this is a problem also why stronger lapel microphones would be a problem depending on whose voice you're working with on the Rode Wireless Go 1s, because they could just be low, medium, or high instead of being able to adjust for the decibels specifically. So something that really makes it neat. But let's go ahead and switch after this silence moment here so you can hear what the noise floor sounds like with the Rode Wireless Go 2. All right, so here we are on the pop voice microphone. And again, I can tell that this one is really strong on this lapel microphone comparative to some of the others that we will get a chance to listen to in just a second. But again, if you lowered it to a different space, you know, that would impact it versus being right at the throat for this kind of a shirt. Collared shirts usually work better. And then also being able to adjust those decibels in the Rode Wireless Go 2s, which is really great. But let's be quiet so we can hear what that noise floor sounds like on this microphone. All right, so here we are on the Boom XD's included lapel microphone on the Rode Wireless Go 2s to see what the audios are sounding like. And again, I'm noticing that this one's doing pretty good comparative to some of the others, but that's at a normalized speaking tone. If you laughed or if you said something different, then you want to adjust for that as well for the highest that somebody may be speaking. But I've been talking long enough so that you can hear what this one sounds like on the Rode Wireless Go 2. So I'll be quiet for a second so we can hear the noise floor and then see what I think after I've listened to all of these. So you probably know before I do what you like better. Almost forgot one. Last but not least, the Purple Panda lapel microphone, which has been honestly a fantastic microphone for the price over the years and has stood the test of time. The cable hasn't cracked or kind of come apart on me or anything like that. So a testament to a pretty cheap lapel microphone actually doing a pretty good job. And again, it depends on your voice, and if it's a deep voice, kind of a mid-tone tonality, kind of like what I have, or a very high-pitched voice, is really going to depict what kind of lapel that you should be trying for your voice specifically. So if you're researching any one of these specifically, you probably want to listen to and listen for someone that has a voice similar to yours, and that'll kind of help give you some insights into maybe what you should do or what you should pick up for your specific voice. But let's go ahead and be quiet for a second and hear what the audio levels sound like when it's quiet with this lapel microphone. All right, so I've had a moment to take a look at the audio where it's just a lapel microphone by itself and when it's the wireless unit for the Rode Wireless Go 2. And this is going to be specific to your camera, the preamps and stuff like that. But I think for me, my voice in this environment, I'm really pleased with the Rode Wireless Go 2 setup with the actual Smartlav lapel and just with the Smartlav going directly into the camera, simply because I think it rejects just the ambient room noise a whole lot better than some of the other ones. And then a close second, honestly, would be, like, as far as audio sound, would be the Comica Boom's lapel. I'm not sure if you can buy that separately, but it does come in the kit. So I'll link all of the microphones that I tested today down in the description. But this is also going to be true when it comes to the room noise, or not really room noise, but just the ambient noise, when you actually take these lapels outside or whatever environment that you probably would be using it in. So for me personally, I look for the audio quality, and then I'm also looking for what my voice sounds like on it. And for some of them, it kind of sounds a little muddled or just muffy, and it's okay. Some of these do pretty good for the price, but for me, the longevity and then just the size of the capsule not sticking out or just being super, I don't know, just in your face when you see them, I really like the setup that Rode has. So this is the mic that I'm going to be using whenever I need a lapel. But let me know, what would you actually pick between all of these different ones, and what did you like with the Wireless Go setup and without? So let me know what you're using down in the comments below. And if you're curious on just what are some more specs and some other stuff that you can do that's really neat with these Rode Wireless Go 2s, no matter what microphone you're using, you definitely want to check out the video coming up on the screen right now.